Did I just hear somebody say anyways? Who was that? I'm just gonna mute some people because it's kind of loud. Okay. Somebody's
I think
muted. Who's that? Oh, there. Okay. So one thing I want to mention is I know that I can be super active and I'm like constantly posting stuff and I'm constantly writing stuff. Now, and not constantly, I feel like I do like about once a day, you know, and I know the chat can get heavy, but I want to be totally honest with you guys. I was in Gold-Blooded chat and I think there's like over 100 people in that chat or something. And yeah, it gets annoying and it's busy. But you know what I did once a day? I had my notifications off, always. And that was Garrett's chat before I made mine. And I always had my notifications off. But once a day, I went back, usually at the end of the day, and I would just scroll through quickly. And usually I would be like, I would wait, like see something like, if like somebody in my group said something or if Garrett commented something was kind of what I was looking for, or like keywords or whatever. But the thing is, you guys, is I know that chats get busy, but the thing is we don't have a chat where people are just chatting. Because if we do, I'm going to nip that in the butt because that's annoying. But these are like, I post shit in there because it's important. And I know not everybody on this call is in that chat because you're only in that chat if you're a product buyer. But if it's really important and you're not a product buyer and you need to know, it's also in the group chat. So it's interesting because I can see how many people view something and I can also see how many people act on it, and it's less than half. What that means is either number one, people don't think it's important, or number two, they just can't be bothered to kind of do something about it. So this is what I'm going to say. If you want results that are life-changing, you have to change your life. And you're going to have to make room to absorb information on a daily basis. If you want to do this daily, then do it daily, right? So, and this is not me being like pissy or annoyed or any, well, no, I'm a little bit annoyed because I actually am in a group chat, and I would say through this transition, this team had some of the most issues of anybody's I've seen. So whatever reason that is, and I'm one of the most active people. So I'm like, okay, so am I being too active that people are just like feeling like they need to ignore me? So now this is where you guys get a chance to tell me what you want to see more of or less of. And if you don't say anything, then you don't get an opportunity to change anything. So I need to hear from you right now what your take on that is. And I understand that we got into this to live our lives. 100%, I agree with that. But at the same time, all I ask is once a day, you can leave your notifications off. You can leave the chat off. But once a day, can you please rip through the chat, rip through the page, and see if there's something that you need to do there. See if there's some, because you know what's interesting is people disappear and then they only come around when they want something. Now I start to notice that, and I get everybody needs a little break. I totally get that. But when there's something super important happening, please know that I won't waste your time and I won't be sending any information that I don't think that can actually help you. So, what do you guys think about that? Unmute yourself if you want to talk. Otherwise, put something in the chat. Hey, Derek's here now.
No, I totally agree with you that when I know that you post something in there, like watch this YouTube, it's going to help with, it's an Abraham Hicks, watch it. Like I go and watch it. Like if we want, you always, like everybody always says to be around the people that have the life that you want and have the success that you want, and then you actually need to do it. Like Brian said that, like so many top leaders have said that. And it's just, I feel like it's just getting in the consistency of getting out of your own way and actually listening to somebody who does have this success versus putting up the walls that you don't, that you can't achieve anything.
Yeah, so that's awesome, Mel. Thanks for sharing that, and I really appreciate you all the time just stepping up and commenting. As far as like the Abraham Hicks stuff, that's not like I mainly do that for you guys because I do it every day and it's so much easier, right? Than sometimes like for you guys to go scroll through something, just like jump on the page and be like, what did Shauna post? What did somebody post? Let me just find something that way, right? So it's more the stuff that I'm more talking about specifically is like the post I put on today about Danielle, and I gave some tips about Go Lives, and, you know, asking to get some love on hers. And Danielle, I don't know, can you tell me how many people actually went and shared to put some love on your page? Can you go check that and just tell me?
Yeah, I'll double check it right now. When I checked it earlier, I think it was like 9 or something, but I'll check it again right now.
Okay, so 9 out of 87 people. That's what we're looking at right now. So basically what I'm saying is don't come to me complaining, because now ACE is running, right? Like we're getting 2 days, you guys are going to be able to use these webinars. Most people have been using the excuse of, well, I can't do anything to make money, right? I can't do any of that. But a lot of people, that's not even going to fly anymore. So all I'm saying is please don't come to me complaining in a month from now when you haven't made any money, because you're not implementing things every single day. So on the full moon, I wrote down all my goals. And this is the thing, and this is coming, just so you guys know, this isn't me yelling at you. This is me actually caring so fucking much about you and why you're here and the time that I've invested in you on your coaching calls, everything. This is not about me making, you know, $100 here, $100 there, $1,000 here. This is about you changing your life, because otherwise it's a waste of my time and it's a waste of your time. So this is me just actually really caring so much about you guys. And I know 100% you will not make money if you don't show up every single day. You won't. You can't just do it when you want. You have to do it all the time. Even when you're feeling shitty. Even when you don't feel like it. You got to show up every single day, not just for yourself, but for other people. For Danielle on that Go Live. And she's going to post. She's going to take my training and she's going to take my coaching. She's going to shoot another one eventually. She's going to post it in there and we're going to see how that helped her. And we're going to be able to learn from that. So all I want from you guys right now is like, ACE is amazing. Like the things that are happening with ACE are mind blowing. But I need you guys to make a choice. If you're going to step up and you're going to stand in your goals and in your dreams every single day. And if you do, I'm going to be there right there with you. And I'm going to start investing way more time in the people that I do. I watch everything. I watch everything all the time. I'm on your pages. I'm on your Go Lives. Even if I'm not commenting, I'm watching shit. And I want you to know that it's because I 100% want you guys to succeed. You can't half-ass it. Because the only person that's going to suffer is you. So Danielle had 15 likes or loves. Okay. Yeah, there was about 5 on there when I was on there. So 10 people about. Okay, so Sherry said, completely agree. And personally, I've been struggling with time management, but I've written out a new daily routine to follow so that I will have time, everything, catch up on anything I do. So if you guys want some help with your scheduling, let's set a training for that. Right? Let's do that. We can totally do that. You guys are struggling with time management, then tell me that. And then I'm more than happy. You guys know my schedule, my kids, like it's intense. No, I don't have a full-time job, but I have 2 full-time little boys and cash is like a ton of work. So you guys want to talk about that? Send me what you guys want training on, right? Tell me what you guys, these are for you guys. These trainings are for you. They're not for me. Yes, they are for me. I love them, or else I wouldn't be here. But do you guys get what I'm saying? Okay, I don't need to beat a dead horse. I think I'm done. I don't know how about anyone else, but I always make sure I look at every post that is important in the group, especially when it's to do with something. Justine, you're super active. Yes, I totally noticed. Justine is one of the very active ones. Nicole Novak is another one. Danielle Pierce, Mel Gange. I see quite a few of the same names very often. And I'm sure there's more. If I didn't say your name, don't worry. But, you got it. Time management. I would love training on time management. Okay, sounds like time management is a big one. So let's do a training for that. Next Sunday, I will be in Cabo, and I've already decided, even in Cabo, I'm doing a training next Sunday. We're not missing next Sunday. I want to do one in Cabo. And maybe I can even get Brian Hodgson or one of the other leaders to jump on for our training while I'm there. So that's my plan. So let's talk about time management. Time management, baby, yes, time management. Okay, so for those of you that have kids, that you're having a hard time with time management, you should read my blog, 7 Tips to be a Successful Mompreneur. Can somebody, is anybody that knows my blog? Mel, you know my blog. Do you think you could go grab that and put it in the chat? For anybody that hasn't watched it, thanks, Mel. Appreciate that. Okay. Do you guys feel like I yelled at you a little bit? No? Okay. That's kind of my yelling. Yes. Mel said yes, a little. Okay, Doozy. Sorry, not sorry. I do really care about you guys, and I do know what it takes to succeed. And every day showing up and just taking a moment to get caught up you might miss something really important. And just it's as we grow, which we are going to do, it's going to be less and less that I'm going to even answer questions that I know I've just asked, because I know that if I answer it, I'm going to probably sound rude, because I'm going to say something like, go fucking read what I just posted. So, somebody mute. They're watching this kind of weird TV show. Good thing they're not cussing me. Tell me more about the egg. Okay, who is that? Oh, they're gone. Okay, so appreciate your honesty. Thanks, Allison. You're definitely passionate about your team. I love it. Yeah, because this is the thing. I put in time, right? A lot of you had your coaching calls with me and shit. I put in the time because I do care. I do want to change the world. I do want to see you guys succeed. And now there's no excuses. We all have a platform to use. Whether you've moved to ACE or not, you're gonna be running traffic. So now let's get into the shit that matters. Full time while raising 2 girls on my own is taking all my time. I attend what I can, but gonna set. Salima, you are kicking ass in Australia, and I'm still going to get a training for the Australians, New Zealanders, and the UK. You guys are going to have your own training to make it easier for you guys. So that's coming, I promise. You guys are also going to have your own coaches. So this is one thing I'm going to say. Once this all gets up and running, use ACE. Run to Australia and UK for sure. For sure. Huge markets. Thanks, Mel. Okay. Sorry. Don't apologize. Just everybody just take the coaching and let's move forward. Okay. So, Doozy. So this is going to be a good training, guys. Now that we're up and running, we're going to talk about talking to your people in Messenger. Even though some of you are like, well, I'm just going to be using Messenger or webinars, I really think it's still good to have a post engagement ad going so that you can learn to talk to people. So Doozy's has converting ads, but she is not getting closing her leads. So drum roll, please. You guys excited? After I yelled at you? There's Doozy. Hey, Doozy. I'm going to...
Hey, how's it going?
Good. How are you?
Good. Thanks.
Thanks so much for offering to bear your entire messenger to us all 20 of us.
It's okay. It's kind of all looks the same, but it's a bit different with some responses. So I would like some advice on that.
Great. So when you say it's all the same, do you mean your conversation is the same, their responses are the same, or both?
No, like I try to keep my replies kind of consistent or in a way like a bit similar to all of them, so I don't like sound very different to everybody.
Yeah.
And just trying to keep it simple and get straight to the point. I'm trying not to make a huge conversation with them. So, but some people just give me like the shortest answer, and I just like, I'm not sure how to like give them information, and it's almost like they don't even ask sometimes. So I'm not sure how to go about it sometimes. I'm kind of stuck. So
okay, perfect. So this is the thing. This is the way it works, you guys. Is very first thing is you get a so the very first thing we're trying to accomplish, right, is you want to get a converting ad, right? You need to get leads. You need to get comments. So it's the very first part of your battle. Then once you get those, you need to get people to respond to you when you message them, or they need to watch the webinars, right? That's the second part. The third part is you need to talk to them, and you need to get them engaged and get them the buy link. And the very last part is actually getting them to use that buy link. So Doozy is really 2 steps away from, and the last step is like, I'll teach you how to do that, Doozy. Once you get people talking back to you, the last step is going to be a given. So you literally are 1 step away from success. So I just want you to know that, because a lot of people, they think that they get so frustrated, but what you actually need to realize is how close you are, right? The biggest battle is getting leads and getting conversions. Mm-hmm. Now is the last piece of the puzzle. So nice work. You obviously are doing well. Let's see you want to share your screen, and let's look at your messages.
Sure. So I kind of followed your advice there with asking or saying thanks for taking the time, and then asking what they do and what has them interested in doing something online.
So yeah, that's great. The only thing about thanks for taking the time to read my post, it's not a grammatical error, but it does sound a bit unprofessional. So what I would change that to is thanks for taking the time to read and reach out. Mm-hmm. I'd love to help, or adjust that a little bit, because thanks for taking the time to read my post. They didn't just read it, but they actually took action. And that's actually what you want to commend them on. Mm-hmm. So yes, so in this case, other than that, yes. So how she posted this, you guys, is how you want to post your when you respond to somebody. You want to do it in 2 messages like she did. And because a lot of times if you just put it in one, people miss that top part. So what do you currently do, and what has you interested in doing something online? So this is going to be a testing game. So if this doesn't work for you, if you're doing this and it doesn't work, it's a matter of tweaking. So the reason I would say thanks for taking the time to read and reach out, I'd love to help, works for me every time. Mm-hmm. And it's a pretty standard message that I know is working for a lot of people. The second one, what do you currently do and what has you interested in doing something online, is hit or miss with me. Mainly because sometimes people feel really intimidated. So the second option I want you to try, Susie, instead of that second line, and I want you to test both of these. I'm not saying one's better than the other, but I'm going to give you a second option to test. Since I did messages, I have to go back and look what I write now. Here. Yeah, so some people, somebody has a cute little baby cooing in the background. Could you maybe mute yourself? Sorry, I'm just trying to find one. There's just a second option I want to give you.
It's okay.
Oh, okay. So that's the second thing. So what basically I've found works really well, instead of just what do you currently do and what has you interested in doing something online, I also finish it off with I can grab my info message for you. And what that basically tells them is if they answer you, that you're just going to give them basically like some info, right? So that's another thing to try.
Okay.
Easy that you can just finish it off with that part. So we can, so this person was on Saturday at 9:27. What you're going to do now is usually if somebody doesn't answer me within 48 hours, and I hope you guys are taking notes on this, would be really good. Jesse, if you're here, do you think you could take notes on this and then we can actually put a document in the file section? And if you can't do that, just let me know. So the second thing is 48 hours. If they don't respond to something like this, you're going to type in, are you still interested in more info? That's it.
Okay.
Yeah. So why don't you just do that right now while we're here? And then, yeah, I'll do that. ABS. Thank you.
All right.
Perfect.
And I'll show you this one where like somebody actually replied and sound interested.
It sounds good.
He thought I was a guy, but whatever. He's like a desperate college teacher that's really hating his job and wants to leave. And I started it the same way, but that was actually all in the same one, the first one. Like, what do you currently do?
I want to learn how to market and advertise digitally so I can have my own business. Perfect. You have found an amazing opportunity, Carl. I love how you used his name. People love hearing their own names. Don't overdo it either. Have you heard of affiliate marketing? So okay, in this circumstance, Doozy, this is appropriate because based on his response, I want to learn how to market and advertise digitally so I can have my own business. He actually sounds like he might be researching things. And somebody that has been researching has probably heard that affiliate marketing is a good opportunity. Otherwise, in most other circumstances, I would say it was too soon to write that. At this point, what I probably would do is the very first thing I find out is what they do. I want to know, what do you do? So I would have said, perfect. You found an amazing opportunity, Carl. Is it okay if I ask you a couple questions to find out a little bit more about you? I'll tell you guys exactly what I write. I'll tell you exactly what I write. Because it's in my... So this is a question I ask all the time. And basically, one of the first things that I want to say to you guys is never send somebody information without asking for their permission, right? So he actually asked, what is it? So he's basically opening up the floodgates for her to give information. This is an easy conversation. Not easy, but I'm saying like he's basically lined it all up. So just really quickly, I have to look at my saved replies. So what I would say, and I will give you guys all these scripts. I will send them to Jesse and I can give them to all of you guys. I usually say, okay, I would love to start off on the right foot and ask you some questions. If that's okay, it helps me understand what you're looking for and if I think I can indeed help. Does that work for you? That's kind of where I would start. And then that's a standard. Then they're going to tell me, and I know, Doozy, you're like, I don't want to get into talking to them too much, but it doesn't have to be super long. This is a saved reply, right? So you're going to put that in there. This is a normal conversation. Then what's going to happen is they're going to tell you a little bit about them. Now, once you have that, you have an opportunity to tailor the conversation to how it's going to be specifically for them. The problem with generic conversations and that conversations that you're just running on your own agenda is they don't feel like they can see themselves in the picture of it, which is the reason that we relate to people, is you want them to be able to envision how this is going to work for them. Because at the end of the day, it's not the purchase that people are afraid of. It is the consequence of the purchase, right? That's like something that's really important. It's not the purchase, it's the consequence of a purchase. So that's where people are going. So what you need to do early in a conversation with someone is you want to be able to get them into the positive consequence of the purchase rather than allowing them to be afraid of the consequence of a purchase, which if you don't know anything about them, it's really hard for you to tailor that conversation. Does that make sense, Doozy, what I'm saying?
Yeah. So the thing is, like, when we get really short answers straight from the beginning, for example.
Yeah, really short answers require really short replies. So I'm really short with really short answers. So can we just hold on 2 seconds? Let's just scroll down a little bit more on this one. Because you said he was interested, so I just want to see where we lost him. I'm interested, but I'm currently on a family road trip. That's great. Where are you guys headed to? That's awesome, Doozy. So you actually showed interest in him, which is fantastic. That's really important, you guys. And I suggest if you want to join, take a lot of pics from your trips so you can use in your business. Amazing. So you gave him some coaching for free. You like, when would you like me to send you more information? Me and my family are heading to a wedding and don't know where that is. Enjoy it. I will send you more info. So what I would basically say at this point is I would say, what kind of info would you prefer? Because you don't know if he's an auditory learner. You don't know if he's a visual learner. And you don't know if he's he needs to actually watch something, right? Like really, really visual. So what I usually do is I say, great. What kind of information would you prefer? Do you want to read something? Do you want to jump on our next live masterclass? Or would you prefer to schedule a phone call? Those are the 3 options I give people, right? And then what it does is, because at the end of the day is we need to be able to give them a little bit of feeling like they have a contribution in the conversation. And at the same time, you want to know that the information that you're going to give, that they're going to do. Because at the end of that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, great, I'm going to send that to you and I'm going to follow up with you in a couple days so that they know that you're going to follow up, so that they are going to take action, right? So that's the only other thing I'd say here. Otherwise, you got into, you shared a...
Yeah, I shared the info message that you told me about, and he apparently hasn't gotten to it yet, so...
Okay. Hello, Miss. I'm sorry for that. Me teachers are really depressing. I hate my job. I feel like all my years at college was a waste. I'm interested in your business because I know it can teach me how to do in the world of digital marketing. So right now, this right here, you know what this is? He is serving you a golden plate. Really, he's basically like, this, my life sucks.
Yeah.
I need you to help me. So now let's see how you dealt with it. Hello, Carl. I totally understand where you're coming from. I was a cook for over 12 years and it was overwhelming and depressing for me too. I had to find a way out and learn something new. I would love to help you. Okay, so this is where you lost him. I guarantee it. Go down a little bit. Yeah, you lost him. Okay, so this, I'm going to tell you why you lost him. Scroll up a little bit. So right here, he got really, really open and raw and vulnerable, and he's basically like, this, when they get here, this is when you know that you can help them. But what happened was you started to relate to him, but you didn't make the pain strong enough. So I felt like all my years in college was a waste. Doozy, did you go to college?
I did, yes. I wasted my time there too.
How much money did you spend in college, on your college?
Over 20,000.
Over 20,000? How long did it take you to pay that off?
I still haven't.
Okay. How long has it been?
It's been 10 years, a bit more actually.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's shitty. Okay, perfect. So that's where you should have went. You should have said,
Okay.
Carl, I totally understand where you're coming from. I was a cook for over 12 years because I had to be. It's been 10 years and I still haven't paid off my college diploma. I don't work in my field. And do you know what I mean? Like, that's real. And that sucks. Like, and I'm not like, yeah, no, like, you got to pour salt on the wound. This is why we're here, you guys. We're here because this is a way out. So let's talk about how shitty it is. Let's talk about that. So guaranteed, I feel like all my years in college was a waste. He probably has a ton of bills too still.
Mm-hmm.
So let's talk about that. Let's talk and then get into, but you know what really helped me, Carl, is that I have learned, like, how much have you been in here for how long, Doozy? How much have you learned? Do you feel like you've learned a lot?
Yeah, for sure. It's been I'd say a couple months since I kind of been active with it, and I definitely have learned a lot, but I'm almost feeling like there's so much to learn always, and I'm always like backed up on all these webinars and like videos and stuff, and like I feel like I'm missing out on so many things still, but I'm still learning a lot, like every day pretty much.
Yeah. So this is the thing. I know a lot of you guys get overwhelmed, but what actually, when you're getting overwhelmed, basically it's just because you're trying to accomplish everything at once. I've been in 9 months and I'm a student. I will be the student for the rest of my life. So yeah, there's so much stuff that I feel like I can never catch up on. I can feel like, but you just do what you can, right? Every day, if you can put an hour into your training, right? An hour into your training and then 2 hours into your business, into creating, then you're good. That's all I would say. If you can just invest 1 hour a day in training and, and so that's where you should have went with this, was talking about your loans shortly and then saying, so what you have to do is you have to relate to them, share a little bit about your story, but if you don't provide a solution, so then you can say, Carl, but you know what, Carl, is we all know that online is the future, and I've learned more about business, and I'm surrounded by more successful people that had the low investment than I ever have in my life. And then you give him, and then you ask him a question, right? I know it can teach me how to be successful in the world of digital marketing. You can say, so what is holding you back? You don't have to read it. If you don't want to read it, it's okay. Do you have specific questions? Maybe you would prefer to jump on a phone call. People that don't read stuff, they're never going to read it. He is not going to read it. Not because he doesn't care, but because it's annoying for him. He's probably a social person. You'd probably be better off on the phone with him or to get him in a master class. But I would say this person, better off on the phone. You can just say, listen, I totally understand that reading a big, long reply can be super dry. If you want, I would love to talk to you. We can schedule a phone call if that's easier for you. And if you're freaking out right now because I'm saying this, that's perfect, because this is really going to teach you a lot about what you actually know about the business. And I'm more than happy to share a bunch of my calls with you. But then you can say, you know what? And then you can go back and you can just go into, because you know why, Carl, is like, I actually have student loans that I've had for 10 years. And I know that this is the only thing that's actually going to help me with that. And if you don't have the result, I know a lot of people are like, but what if you don't have the results? Well, then you use somebody else's, right? You use mine. You use anybody's. But that's what I would say is when people aren't reading, don't even bother asking them again. Just say, hey, would you prefer to watch a video? Like, do you want to watch, my mentor did a training on $10,000 days in, do you want to watch that? And then that has the training in it. That has my sales pitch in it. So you guys can use those resources. Find out what resource works for them. And just so you guys know, I'm also going to get I'm buying some photography and video equipment so that I can shoot higher quality videos for you guys that are like 5, 10, and 20 minutes long. But for now, find out what kind of learner he is. Okay, so does that make sense?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, want to go to another one?
Yeah, I haven't been asking them their preference on the information, so sometimes I'm just sending them the really long information message. But like, for example, what do you say to this guy?
Okay, so what do you currently do, and what has you interested in having a business online? I would definitely do, that's having might work actually. Never. Roofing and to expand. All right, have you heard of affiliate marketing? So that's too quick. So again, so what I would say is, oh, you're a roofer. So clearly you're a hard worker. Work isn't something you're afraid of. And to expand, do you want to expand? Does he mean, are you an entrepreneur? Are you a contractor? Are you looking to expand your roofing company? Find out what he means, right? Get specific. And then, and then he'll kind of go into something else. So that's what I would have done. And then, did you lose him right after this last long message?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So that's another way. So really figure out when they respond, make their response mean something, right? He basically is like, well, she doesn't give a shit about me. She's just trying to sell me something. Mm-hmm. So you want to get away from them thinking that. What you want to do is be like, hey, I can help you. Let me show you how, because I'm going to ask you about yourself and I'm going to tell you how you can apply this to what you already do. Right? Mm-hmm. And that just comes from like knowledge on like what is available here too, which I know you know. Does that help?
Yes, for sure.
Okay. Let's go through some more.
It puts a different meaning of relating to people for me, because I was thinking about relating them with my story instead of kind of relating like you just said. So that totally makes more sense for me right now. Totally.
We want to actually get away from like really like when they say something, the worst thing that you can say, you guys, is if they're like, oh, my life sucks. Say it's like, I've gotten so many of these where it's like a single mom and their father doesn't pay child support and I'm raising 6 kids on my own. And, and I'm like, oh, I'm not going to be like, oh, that's terrible. That is the worst thing you can do. All you're going to do is be like, yeah, I totally get it. I know what it's like to raise kids on your own. It's a lot of work, but having financial independence will make you stronger, and then you can go that way. So you don't want to spend too much time like being like feeding into their story.
Yeah.
Yeah, I am just coming up with the money. So what?
This guy, I've sent him everything, information, and I believe a video as well. And he's just saying he's coming up with the money. So
okay. So what I would do is I would do something with this. What I would do is I would be like, hey, my mentor just did a free training. Do you want to jump on that and you want to check that out? And you can send him like one of the YouTube trainings that I did. Those, just so you guys know, those did really, really well. Like people really got a good taste of what we do here and they got excited. So what you can do is sometimes I would do that with people that are like, I'm just coming up for money. I just start dishing them with info. And I'd be like, hey, if you're gonna jump in, I'm more than happy to send you a couple PDF of books that you're gonna need when you start with us. Do you want those? Then send them the PDF of the magic. Get them going, right? Start giving them stuff so that number one, they know what to expect. And if they're the type of person that's ready for change, they're gonna get excited about that and they're gonna want more. So try and get him some content. Try and get him something that